We're back. We're back. After a little bit of a vacation, had some things going that you know, some I had some things that got in the way, so I apologize. My dog nearly died, but she's alive. She's kicking. She's breathing. She's recovering, and I mean, we're let's get started. I mean, we were on a hot streak. We're gonna get back on this hot streak. Back consistent every week. What do you call it? We're gonna aim for every Tuesday and Wednesday. I got a ring light now. So shit, Jack, how you feeling?
Bro, you still look like butt. If I'm being honest,
Shut your bitch ass
if
up.
I'm being honest,
But shit, hey, we got a lot to unpack, a lot of catching up to do. Um, what do you call it? The big deal poll looks absolutely nothing like how it did some time ago alongside the AP poll. But fuck it, dude. Let's get right into this shit. We're gonna go ahead and get into the week 8 AP poll. Um, One thing that's very surprising is it actually does not look terrible. The AP poll has been stepping their game up on the screen right now, the way you see it. Boom!
I think if we are being honest, this is by far the best poll of the year, and I want to give them credit. But if we're being real, they're all the teams kind of played themselves into these spots. Like none of these are hot takes or bad rankings. Really, it's just kind of where they're supposed to be at this point.
Yeah. Let's see. At number 1, we have the reigning, defending national championship winners, the Ohio State Buckeyes. Um, nothing too much to say here. They've been the most consistent team in the nation. Honestly, looks like they're going to repeat. I think their only chances of not doing that in conference is going to be at number 2 with Indiana. How about Kirk Signetti in the Hoosiers, Jackson?
I think I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't high on Indiana last year. For the most part, I got proved right. I wasn't high on them this year. I personally thought they were going to lose to Oregon. I know we didn't have an episode that week, but I'll take accountability there. I'm very surprised they're playing this well, and that really just gets down to how well Fernando Mendoza is playing. He's probably the number one or the number two in the Heisman race right now. He's playing great football.
Yeah, and Kirk Signetti actually getting a 10-year. I don't actually, was it an 8-year or a 10-year extension with the team?
I I think it's 8 year. It runs
An
through
8-year.
2032, if I'm not
Yeah.
wrong.
Hey, they got their guy. Honestly, I think top 3 coach in the entire country. Everywhere he goes, he wins, and he's winning. I mean, he hasn't lost a game in almost. I mean, discluding their college football playoff loss, he hasn't lost a game in nearly a year, like a full calendar year. Kirk Signetti and the Hoosiers. So they're where they deserve to be. Number 2, the Big Ten sitting at the top of the poll right now. Number 3, we have sitting at the top of the SEC at 7-0, 4-0 in conference play. We have my fighting Texas A&M Aggies. Gig 'em, baby. Hey, I tried to tell you guys, first video on the channel, to buy in on your Aggie Kool-Aid, to buy into the Aggies, that they're not the same old Aggies. And hey, 7-0. Texas A&M is 7-0 for the first time since 1994. And hey, they're hot, dude. They're hot.
I just want to mention something real quick while we're on this topic. There's still room for A&M to go 8-4. The season's not done yet. There's still the A&M we know, and that's what I would put my money on if we're guessing where it's going to end up.
And you know what? I would I would normally agree with you, but I feel like my battered Aggie syndrome is slowly dying, and it's just the fact of who the head football coach is now, and it's Mike Elko. He is a football coach. Like this guy gets me ready to run through a brick wall. I mean, I know he has a beer gut and a lean gut, but god damn it, dude. I love me some fucking Mike Elko. I love him. But I don't want to spend too much time on this because I could talk about A&M the entire episode, and that's not why we're here. But number 1 team in the SEC, number 3 team in the country, my A&M Aggies. Um, Pretty good. And not too far behind at 4-5, we have the usual top dogs of the SEC with Alabama and Georgia. And
And I feel like with these two, you could really interchange them because yes, Bama did beat Georgia, but also you got to go back to Georgia's one loss to Bama. Bama's one loss is Florida State, and that's something I kind of wanted to get into right here. Is the fact that Florida State is completely out of the poll. They have now lost 3 out of their last 4. They've looked
they're
really rough, even when their quarterback's healthy. And I think that's something that if we see Bama play as lazy as they did that first game, I think we really can see them drop another one, even though they're playing great ball right now.
mhm. And I think we can go without saying no discuss. Actually, you might. I know you love you some Fernando Mendoza, but I think the Heisman frontrunner right now is Ty Simpson.
It might be Ty Simpson. If we're being honest, it's a very close race between those two at the moment. They're both playing great. I have no complaints about either of them.
I mean, who would have thought that in a world of Arch Manning and a world of DJ Lagway, Lenora Sellers, Kate Klubnik, that we would have Fernando Mendoza possibly leading the Heisman race with Ty Simpson. Kind of crazy. Let's see. We got number 6 Oregon. What we kind of talked about earlier. They went on the road, beat Penn State, which what at the time looked like a really good win. Um, Penn State has since become a dumpster fire. I mean, there's not too much more to say there. But I mean,
I
they're
feel
still
like
a
I
very good
feel like
football team.
Oregon is ranked accurately for me, at least in my opinion, because they should not be above Bama or Georgia. Their one loss is to the number 2 team, and that is you don't want to say they're good losses or bad losses, but that is a good loss. But the big thing is we don't really know where to scale them right now because their best win was over Penn State, and now Penn State's 3-4, if I'm not mistaken. So it's kind of we want to see them do it against better teams, and they will with their rough Big Ten schedule coming up soon.
Yeah, and then we got another Haynes King and Georgia Tech. The Yellow Jackets come in, entering the top 10 at number 7. I mean, is unless you live in the state of Georgia and you're like a dog, you got to be rooting for Georgia Tech here, right? I mean, they're such a likable team. They're gritty. I love their head coach. They get the game done, and I love me some Haynes King, former A&M Aggie. I wish he could have played like that when he was with us, but I mean, yeah, I mean, Yellow Jackets here at number 7.
One thing I do want to mention is when you look at the rest of their schedule, somehow they've already gotten through the hardest part of it. They're really, in my opinion, the only game that I will think could maybe go the other way is their game against Pittsburgh and their game against Georgia, which it really doesn't matter if they lose that one because that's not a conference game. At that point, they're in the ACC championship and they're going
Mhm.
to make the playoff if they're in the ACC championship. So I think Georgia Tech, out of these top teams, might be the closest to a lock there is.
Yeah, and I did say on our last episode that book Georgia Tech to the ACC championship. I mean, obviously, we didn't know that Florida State was going to become the dumpster fire that it is, but told you guys to buy in. Got to start listening to us. Go ahead and book Yellow Jackets to the ACC chip. Hell, you might even want to book them to win it. I mean, we'll get into more about that in a little bit. But yeah, Yellow Jackets coming at 7. We got Ole Miss at 8 and Miami at 9. Um, Ole Miss, what do you call it? Let's see, they went and they lost to the Dogs. So it was a really good back and forth game. You know, there was a point, Jackson, in the fourth quarter where Ole Miss was up 2 possessions at 9 points.
They were they were really in the game with Georgia. It's just they couldn't. It's kind of the story of their season so far. Their offense has looked electric, especially Trinidad Chambliss came out of nowhere and is playing better than their Austin Simmons was. He's playing like their QB1. He beat LSU, almost beat Georgia. But the thing is, also the week before that, he had kind of a slip up against Washington State. He played very solid, but you don't want to see a top 10 team in a 3-point game with Ole Miss. That's kind of something we'll get, not Ole Miss, sorry, with Washington State. That's something we'll get into later, but we just really have to see. They have a good test this week against Oklahoma. I really want to see how that game goes because I feel like it could be a coin flip.
Yeah, that Washington State game was disgusting, honestly. I mean, it was nasty, ugly game, real gritty game. Almost got it done there. Went on the road to Georgia, played them tough for about 3 and a quarters. But that Georgia team is just too physical, and that's why Georgia's the number 5 team in the country. Physicalness and toughness, it travels no matter where you go. We got Miami at 9.
They lost this week. There's not much you could say. Carson Beck had a terrible
He came
performance
back
if
to
we're being
earth. He came
honest.
down to earth.
He came down to earth. All week I saw on social media. This is a Carson Beck us Georgia fans knew. This is he's just regressing to the mean. He had a great first 6 games of the season and kind of fell down to earth. Not in the way you want to see, but I think it's a game that needs to happen at some point in their season if they want to make a run. And the hope you have if you're a Miami fan is that it happened now instead of later.
Yeah,
You still have
exactly.
time to make up for it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to get into. Is that if you're a Miami fan, if you're a Miami coaching staff, if you're a Miami player, it's like you said, better that it happened right now instead of championship weekend, where there's nothing you can do now. Because I mean, if you look about it, you already have one loss, and it's in conference play. Really, really important thing to put down. Um, but hey, can we start talking about possibly Louisville? I know we're going to talk about them in a little bit, but they look pretty damn good. It's also really easy to look good when you can force 4 turnovers. But yeah, Miami comes in at 9, dropping all the way down from their number 2 spot originally. At 10, who would have thought that the Vandy Commodores would be a top 10 team in the country? I
They
mean,
are playing great ball right now. They haven't, to be fair, the I don't know about the hardest, but they do have a rough part of their schedule coming up where they're going to play Missouri, Texas, Auburn, Kentucky, Tennessee. That's you can say what you want about Auburn, you can say what you want about Kentucky. Those aren't easy games. Those aren't easy games. And Tennessee and Texas are 2 top 22 teams right now. That's that's something you got to keep an eye out for. They most likely will split to those 4 games because unless Vandy really proves me wrong specifically, I think they split those games. I don't know who they're going to lose. I don't know who they're going to win to, but I don't think there's a way they win all 4.
oh, definitely not. But Diego Pavia is leading one of the most electric offenses in the country, with the best tight end in the country in Eli Stowers. They have so many ways they can kill you. They can pound the football. They can sling it. And I mean, if you watched that what do you call it, the LSU game, they came out and probably like on first down, they came out in probably about 15 different formations. It's insane. Like you have no idea what you're getting into when it comes to Vandy. And I'm glad as an A&M fan we don't have to play that we don't have to play Vandy. I know Jackson is probably now shitting in his boots because that Vandy offense is just electric. And I mean, as long as Diego Pavia, he's taking care of the football, and if he can keep taking care of the football, I mean, that's really all you need. I mean, but
Really,
man,
really, to me, it's not as much Diego Pavia because we know at this point, especially after last year, he's a somewhat proven entity in the way he plays and the way he carries himself and the way he commands that offense. But for me, it's really just seeing how far can their line play take them, especially in a division like the SEC. That's really going to be the big difference in these last 4 to 5 games they have. That's going to see if they make it to the SEC championship or not.
tough sledding to do for them with that back half of that schedule that you talked about. We got BYU coming in. I mean, what do you call it? BYU looking like I think now they sit technically at the top of the Big 12 due to that Texas Tech loss, with a big win. What do you call it, over Utah? So, Jack, what do you think about BYU and the Mormons?
There is they had a big win over Utah, and I thought Utah was a very solid team. Maybe not top 25, but solid at the very least. They have their back half of their schedule isn't particularly hard. They do play Cincinnati and Texas Tech, but also it's a Big 12, and in my eyes, anybody can lose to anybody in the Big 12. It's not that big of a gap, and that was really shown with Texas Tech last weekend. And I just think BYU on paper looks good, but at least something everybody always talks about is the eye test, and they've looked good. I can't really put a pinpoint on if they should be this high up.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know how far you can go with a quarterback wearing number 47, but I mean, hey, they've got. Oh, hold on, my ring light turned off. What do you call it? It's gotten them this far. Holy shit, that's bright. Hold on. But it's gotten them this far. BYU top of the Big 12 at number 11. Um, I mean, hey, if they can keep winning, then I mean they'll stay there and they'll move up. But we have two lost Notre Dame in at number 12
I
with
just want to take this point. Give me 1 second. Do you
mhm.
remember right after they lost to A&M, you said they shouldn't be ranked. No team with 2 losses should be anywhere near the top 25.
Well,
They should be nowhere up here. Look where they are now.
when it's week
Everything
three,
that I had said.
when it's week three and you have two losses, but now,
Well,
yeah,
no. But I try to say to you then is that just because you have 2 losses to what up until this past week, two top 4 teams, you're still a top 25 team if you look like it, and they look like it, and that's being proven where they are right now. I don't, especially since they don't have a conference championship game. They're not going to lose a game the rest of the season. Most likely, they're going to make the playoff. It's exactly as I predicted.
yeah, Notre Dame. What do you call it? They take down USC. Um, don't know if Lincoln Riley's ever going to get anything going down there, but yeah, I mean Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price are going absolutely bananas. They very well could have the two best running backs in the country, and
I think
I don't even think that's a crazy claim.
what we're seeing right now is what everybody preseason expected to see out of Nicholas Singleton and Katron Allen. They're just they're they're the best running back duo in the country, and it isn't particularly close. They're playing great, and Notre Dame, kind of what I had said about Vandy is how far their line can take them, like especially in the SEC. Notre Dame has an SEC type O line and D line. They have great players all across that line, and their secondary is really good, especially their quarterback one Leonard Moore. So I just really want to see. I expect Notre Dame to make a deep playoff game, at least into the semis.
Bold claim right here. We got to see if CJ Carr can keep up his pretty consistent season. But yeah, Notre Dame comes in at number 12. They're red hot. Knocked down the hardest team left on their schedule in USC, and hey, we're gonna see. We don't expect Notre Dame to lose another game. So as long as they just keep going, some of these teams are gonna fall, and they're gonna get into that college football playoff. Um, we have OU and Tech here at 13 and 14. What do you call it? OU with John Material getting back healthy again. They did drop that Red River rivalry game. I think what do you call it? Well, I saw this thing and it was really true that John Mateer he um like it was more of just rust. Like he was making just terrible decisions. Like
He was making bad decisions in the fact that his arm, you could tell he had the power to make every throw. He had the zip on every throw. He just wasn't throwing it the way his mind thought he could. His mind wasn't there. And that's the
yeah.
thing. You could say maybe if he never got injured, that that game maybe would have not ended. I don't like to look at it like that, especially as a Texas fan. I get that it is a little biased, but that game really was controlled at the line of scrimmage. It was Texas's D line had a field day. Their O line had their best performance of the season. John Mateer doesn't play O line or D line, so I really don't know how much that game would have changed.
Huh, yeah. Texas looked really good during that game. Oh, just completely out physical OU. And quite frankly, OU got bitched in every aspect. And what do you call that? Showed up on the box score, and now it's showing here in the AP poll. And then Tech losing to the reigning defending Big 12 champions. This comes into what you said. Who the hell is going to win the Big 12? I know Texas Tech is obviously still the favorite, but I mean, anybody can beat anybody. Like it's
Anybody
there's
anybody can
no
beat
team
anybody,
that has elevated themselves above all.
and I really think if I had to pick today who would win, I think all these teams are too inconsistent and will drop another game. I could see Arizona State playing in that title game. I know they're not in the top 25 right now, but when you look at it, they lost a dogfight to Mississippi State, which, in all honesty, that isn't a good game to lose. But that's not Big 12. The only Big 12 loss comes to Utah. They didn't have their starting quarterback.
Yeah.
I really think they could finish the rest of the season strong if healthy and make a run in the Big 12.
Yeah. Honestly, I really do agree. Um, I think if we were to pick the two best teams in the Big 12, I think we could both agree that it's Arizona State and Texas Tech. There's just a team with like BYU. Like I think BYU might make it over one of those teams just because of their schedule, not because they're a better team. I just looking at the rest of BYU schedule, I don't see them losing two more games. I just don't. And I
I can
mean,
agree on that.
sometimes that's just how the apple falls. And I mean, it's going to be a dogfight. But yeah,
That's basically how it felt last year. Iowa State had an easier Big 12 schedule. They made it all the way to the Big 12 championship, and that's where Arizona State cleaned them up.
yeah, good point. Let's see. We have sorry, excuse me. We got Mizzou coming in at 15. I know since our last episode, Mizzou they hosted Bama at home, which was actually a pretty close game. It was a really good game. But damn, that Bama defense is something else. Um, they just, quite frankly, they just that D line just out physicaled Mizzou's O line, and it was very apparent. Pribula was just running for his fucking life. And I mean, when you don't have Luther Burden to sling the ball to anymore, that's just the kind of stuff that happens. Oh, I mean, I know he wasn't. The point is, Mizzou doesn't have Luther Burden anymore. They don't have that big deep threat receiver that you can go to like they did last year. But yeah, Mizzou comes in at 15. Probably, I think if you were to look at the middle pack of the SEC, the definition of a middle pack SEC team, and I mean, I still think Mizzou is really good. Even for a 15 ranking. I think especially with how we just talked about how Alabama took them down. One of the best losses you can have, and like we were talking about, there's not really a such thing as losing when it being good. But if you're gonna lose, your only loss in the season is to the number 4 team in the country, who is arguably the best team in the SEC.
Bama's a great team. I think Missouri's a great team. I just Missouri does have a tough schedule coming along, just like
Yeah,
every other SEC team. I don't think we'll see them finish in the playoffs, but I do think they're going to finish around this 15 to 20 range in the final rankings, which I mean, it'll get you an entertaining bowl game, but it doesn't really do much for you in terms of playoff hopes.
yeah. Mizzou to the Pop Tart Bowl. Let's see.
And next up, we do have Virginia. And one thing I wanted to get into with Virginia is the fact that their big win, the win that kind of vaulted them into the top 25 now, was the beginning of the downfall for Florida State. That's kind of the thing we said earlier with Bama is that loss looks worse over time. And you don't want to say a win looks worse, but it does, especially when that's kind of what got them up here in the first place. And I really think you'd see them a few spots down if that Florida State team wasn't ranked so high when they played.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think. I see. I agree with you because it's really hard to say like to devalue a win as weeks go on. But when you are the catalyst of a team's downfall, I think that's the part where should stay the same. Like, let me think of another example. Like there was a team I was thinking of, like Penn State, for example. If you look at Oregon, yeah, we say Oregon. Your best win is Penn State. At the time, Penn State was playing really good football. You think about it. Penn State lost in double overtime to Oregon. Like it wasn't a close game. And if we value Oregon at number 6, and they went in a dogfight with Penn State and came out victorious due to a Drew Aller interception on the first play of double overtime. I mean, Penn State was still a good team. Are they valued as that now? No. But Oregon are the
I think
ones that started that. And it's the same thing when it comes to Virginia with FSU. Obviously, I'm not comparing. I think Penn State would absolutely dog walk Florida State if Drew Aller is healthy. But It's kind of the
But
same
that's
thing.
the thing. It's such a gray area just because of the fact that I don't think it should actively be used to prop up Virginia and then kind of not matter at all for Bama. Like when you look at it, that's kind of
Hmm.
what it is because if anything, Florida State has consistently dropped since they beat Bama. They had a little rise and they've fallen the past 4 weeks. So I don't get how you could really say as the voter. Of course, we didn't make this poll,
Hmm.
but I'm saying as a voter, how does it not matter for Bama to lose to them, but it's such a big deal for Virginia to win over them? That's kind of
Yeah,
where that gray area comes in with common opponents.
yeah, I agree. But nonetheless, in the AP poll, Virginia is sitting here at 16. We have Tennessee at 17, which ironically enough, what do you call it? Since our last episode, they rose in the poll all the way up to number 11, and then dropped back to number 17 with that loss to Alabama. So ironically enough, Tennessee's in the same spot as they were the last time we were live. Um, yeah.
I really just do feel bad for Tennessee fans. They've lost to Bama and Georgia, and the Bama game wasn't particularly close in the second half. That Georgia game, you could, if they don't have a bonehead for a kicker, they win. They win that. They're probably around that 9 or 10 spot right now if they had that Georgia win. You just got to feel bad for them because they're most likely out of SEC contention,
Mhm.
most likely out of playoff contention. It's just kind of rough to see.
Yeah, Tennessee. I mean, that's what the SEC does to you. I mean, you got to play top dogs every single week, and sometimes you can't win them all. Um, but nonetheless, Tennessee, definitely the best two-loss team in the conference. They're sitting at number 17, and we got my boys at number 18. Jackson's least favorite team for some odd reason. We have the USF Bulls, baby, coming in at number 18. I wanted to put them in our last big deal poll, but Jackson told me no. But nonetheless, you can't avoid it now. They are at number 18 in the AP poll. I think by far the group of five favorite, taking that spot definitely over Memphis. But Jack, what you think about Byron Brown and the Bulls?
I think they are playing good ball right now, but when you look back at it, they don't have a good win. Their only two good wins were teams that were ranked, they formally ranked for the first 2 weeks of the season. Do you think Florida's a good team?
No, I don't.
Do you think Boise State's a good team?
No, I don't.
So in the argument of them being up here this high, I think they should be in the top 25. I think they should be at 24, 25. But their argument for them being up here was them beating ranked teams at the time. And those teams have just shown they're not who we thought they were when we initially ranked them. And especially the week after they beat Florida by a game winning walk off field goal, they get dog walked by Miami. And I just think they are the group of five favorite, but it's kind of the same thing as outside of last year. I don't think any of these group of five schools are going to even come close to any of these top schools.
Yeah, I think in order for because I think we agree USF will take that group of five spot to the playoff. For them to do anything, they're gonna have to catch somebody on a bad day, or they're gonna have to start off with some kind of big play on that opening drive, and I don't see it. I love them though. I mean, I think they're a fun team to watch. I'm a big Byron Brown fan. Um,
You're a fan because we were at work watching the first game of the season. You saw him run for a 40-yard touchdown, and you've been a bandwagon since then.
I'm a
It's a
Byron.
BS.
I'm a Byron Brown fan, bro. I told you to buy in on him.
You told who has he played? Don't even, I'm not even gonna get started on this.
All right, Jackson's least favorite team comes in at 18. We got Louisville coming in at 19, the team that just knocked off the formerly number two Miami Hurricanes. Um, can we look at this? What do you call it? This Louisville wide receiver room because they got some
There,
dogs.
Colin Lacey is
They
an
got some
NCAA
dogs,
25
dude.
legend. He's a legend.
Oh my god! And then you also have what do you call it? I don't know their first names on the top of my head, but you have Brown, you have Bell, and you have Colin Lacey making big plays all over the field. And I mean, it's a really solid core. I mean, obviously we have to. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't watch too much of Louisville up until last week with that Miami primetime game, so I don't know how these receivers have looked all together throughout the season before then, because I'm just not a big Louisville guy. But in that game against what I would say is a pretty damn good defense. I know that Ruben Bain doesn't play what do you call it, zone coverage and man coverage, but they were playing one of the better defenses in the country, in my opinion, and they walked them down. Like Miller Moss was slinging it, and plays were getting made. And I think this Louisville offense can take them to. I'm not gonna say the ACC championship, but they're definitely
I
up
think
there.
I think it's kind of what we said earlier. It's going to take him to the Pop Tart Bowl. It's going to give him. It's going to give him a good, nice little fun bowl game. I don't really see it going much further than that because when I look at the rest of their schedule, I think there's a chance they lose to Cal. There's a chance they lose to Clemson. There's a chance they lose to SMU. There's a chance they lose to Kentucky. I don't think they blow out any of those teams. Those are all solid, middle of the pack teams. It's kind of I don't see them. I see them losing another 2 or 3 games this season, if we're being honest. But I'm proud of them for being up here right now. They beat Miami. That was a good accomplishment. But also, a lot of that came from not their defense making spectacular plays on Louisville's end. It was kind of Carson Beck just chucking the ball up.
Yeah,
It when you look at all of his picks, it wasn't any, oh my god, he jumped the route. It was Carson Beck throwing into triple coverage. So I just think they are a little bit inflated in their ranking right now. They're going to come down to earth, but they deserve to be here right now.
definitely. Let's see, and then we have number 20 LSU coming in with their loss to Vandy. Quite frankly, I mean it not being able to run the football catches up to you at some point. I will say they did have their best rushing game of the year so far against Vandy, but I mean it couldn't do them any good when you can't stop a nosebleed. And I mean I'm still gonna dwell on that. Obviously Vandy's offense is really good. I think it's one of the best in the country. Probably in like that top 15 range, probably around that 12 to 15. But I mean still, I mean this was a team that was a national championship favorite. Like they were ranked, I believe it was number 3 to start the season, or it was either number 3 or number 5 to start the season. Like this is a team that had a potential Heisman favorite and or just an all around national championship caliber team, and they just have not amounted to that. I mean, they can't. Typically, I don't want to say they fully can't run the football because they. I will say they went for over 100 yards. I mean, it's not saying much, but when you can't run the football, when you can't play defense, actually I'm not gonna say defense, and really fucking good secondary. But when you're not physical on the O line, you're not physical on the defense, and you can't run the football, you're not gonna win a lot of football games. I mean, you're gonna out talent people, but that talent can only take you so far. And I mean, we're gonna find out. They have A&M going to Baton Rouge. They are gonna be. It looks like without Whit Weeks and one of their starting tackles. So if you thought that O line couldn't get any worse, it definitely can. So I mean, if LSU drops this game, are we starting to have some uncomfortable conversations about Brian Kelly Jackson?
I don't I don't think you do. I think you give them another year at least because the grass isn't always greener. There's not a lot of coaches I would see in the cycle that I think will be better right away than Brian Kelly. And if you're LSU, you're at this point, you do have a lot of young talent. You don't want to go in a full rebuild mode at this moment. And that's not even really a thing for college, but it kind of is. I just don't think that's something you really want to look at when you have the amount of talent they do.
No, yeah. Here. Let me rephrase it better because I think we can both agree on that standpoint. We're gonna get more into it later with some other coaches. That I agree. Brian Kelly should get more time. But do you think that LSU and the media are going to push a certain narrative when it comes to Brian Kelly if he loses this game?
They can. It's 50-50, but also I think to an extent college football media is different than the NFL in
Mm-hmm.
the fact that
Treat coaches like
every
shit,
school
dude. They treat him like
every
shit.
school every school has their own president. They have their own athletic director that feel different ways and have different courses of action. It's very different. I don't think so. I really don't. Maybe the media will, but I don't think that's going to go down to LSU.
Yeah. But see, we got LSU at 20. They got a big prove it game. They don't win this, their season's probably over. And like we said about some other teams, they're going to go fight for a Pop Tart Bowl. Pop Tart Bowl's badass though. But still, it's not a New Year's Six when it comes to the college football playoff. We have Cincinnati coming in at 21, another Big 12 team. This, I mean, the Big 12 is
It's
just,
it's
I don't even know.
it's exactly the same shit we said about the other four Big 12 teams up here. If they make it, they make it. We don't know who's consistent. They've looked good at times. They've looked bad at times. We'll see what happens. That's really all I have to say
Yeah,
about it. It's the
I
same
get.
thing.
Yeah, we're not gonna get too into it with Cincinnati. It's just a whole lot of repeating. We have Texas coming in at 22. They re-enter. What do you call it? They're at 22. I had them, or actually, wait, no, completely dominated. And they last week they went on the road to Kentucky, walked it off in double overtime. And I mean, I don't know how to scale this team. I mean, at least I know offensively they've been really bad. Defense has been really good though. Um,
Do you remember how earlier we said most of these teams are going to kind of regress to the mean and like and they're kind of big wins and small wins and they're going to end up being the team they are. I think Texas is somewhere in between that OU game and that Kentucky game. They looked ugly as hell in the Kentucky game. They looked great. They looked very solid on offense against a great OU defense, like a top five defense in the country. So it's somewhere in between there. I think where they will finish is an elite defense like they have and an average offense. Right now they have a below average offense. I think they will finish as an average offense, but we just got to see if their D line's playing great for the most part. It's really just their O line and Arch. If they could continue to hopefully improve, I am saying this as a Texas fan. If they hopefully continue to improve at some rate, they will have a chance to do something. But realistically, they already have an SEC loss. That wasn't a good looking SEC loss. It's going to be rough for them to get into the SEC championship. And if they don't get into the SEC championship, I don't see them getting into the playoffs.
yeah. I think if you're Texas, I mean, offense needs to be better. I mean, it's just really hard to scale this team when you go and win a really good game like OU. You don't just win it; you dominate, and then you go blow for blow with Kentucky. It's just, I mean, if they can get the offense figured out, I can see them making the playoff pretty relatively easily. They have a top defense in the country, but I mean, I think it's kind of similar to LSU when it comes to their offensive struggles. I mean, I was. Oh wait, okay. Well, let me not do that. I think the LSU hasn't scored more than 24 points this year, so it's a really kind of a
I
bad
think I
comparison.
think
But I think it's like the
LSU and
same idea.
Texas, I think they're in the same exact boat. They have the talent on offense, especially at skill positions. It's just really their O line and their quarterback holding them back to an extent.
Yeah,
Of course, not exactly the same. It is a little bit more nuanced, but that's pretty much what's happening for both teams.
yeah. Texas at 22. Let's see. Let's just go ahead and round off the bottom of this poll. I mean, there's not too much to say about these teams. I know you like Arizona State, but we got Illinois, AZ State, and Michigan coming in at 23 through 25.
Illinois, same thing. I don't think they're going to be playing for a Pop Tart Bowl. Arizona State, maybe they win the Big 12. If they don't, they're playing for a Pop Tart Bowl. Michigan ain't going to do anything, in my opinion, unless they somehow beat Ohio State for the fourth year in a row. That's that's really their only chance of doing
Wouldn't shock
anything.
me either.
It wouldn't shock me. You know, I could see Michigan going 8-4, beating Ohio State their last game of the season just as a fu. Like I could see that happening.
Gotcha. Let's see. But yeah, that's gonna go ahead and round off the what you call it, the A people. We're gonna take a look at the big deal poll really quick. Um, some slight changes. If I can find my mouse. My mouse is like disappearing. Okay, well, you know what? We're just gonna have to. Oh, you know what? Never mind. I forgot my shit's a tap screen. We're good. All right, and we're gonna take a look at the only poll that matters in college football, the best poll, the most accurate poll, your mother's favorite poll. We have the big deal poll coming in. There's your top 25. Um, I think we only have one team in here that's not in the AP poll, and that's the number 25 spot. But for the most part, I would say that the top 10 looks nearly identical. We have a couple swaps here when it comes to I have Georgia Tech over Oregon. Um, I mean, it's a 1 point swap. I mean, I think Georgia Tech undefeated, sitting at the top of the ACC. Um, I mean, they have. Okay, I wouldn't say a better win because of the way
I
Clemson looks now, but I mean,
I
top of
just
the
think
ACC. I think you deserve to be in the top six.
I agree. And when you look at this poll right now and the poll we had about 2 weeks ago, it's a lot more similar to the AP poll, and that's something I do want to give them credit on. Their polls was pretty good this week for the most part. I mean, at this point, the poll every week isn't making any big guesses about anybody, big assumptions. It's just kind of seeing where things play out, especially with the back half of all these schedules. I mean,
Dude on the right looks like he ate Parsons and kissed Tom's son.
nah, Justin, I'm gonna destroy your house. I'm gonna destroy your house.
God damn it, dude! I love that comment. For those of you that don't know, we have an anonymous hater over on the TikTok page that claims that Jackson looks like he ate Micah Parsons and kissed Tom Brady's son. Still not too sure on who that is
No,
or what led
no,
them to
I
say
no
that,
idea who it is.
but it's
Hating
pretty
for no
fucking
reason.
funny. Um,
It is hilarious. So I will say that I'm not gonna judge. It was funny. What can he do about it?
yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to look and see what some of our big changes are in the AP poll in our big new poll because honestly, there really isn't. I mean, everybody's in within 1 to 2 spots of where
Everybody's
they are in
within
the
about
poll.
2 to 3 spots. We do have Tulane basically over Arizona State. That is something that we did talk about, and we it's kind of what we said. All these Big 12 teams, you can make an argument for them being higher than they should be, lower than they should be. That's kind of what we went with. I think we wanted to show more representation. A group of five school like Tulane, who has played great ball with Rhett Slash looking like a dark horse Heisman candidate, if they somehow win some big games and play great. So I just wanted to show some love to Tulane.
Yeah, Tulane versus Navy will be a good ass game to watch. Um, but yeah, our 25 spot, we were deciding between Navy and Tulane, and we ultimately just went over with Tulane. But yeah, there's not really too much to get into with the big deal poll. We gave you our thoughts on every team. Um, and yeah, I mean, big deal poll, best poll in the country, the only poll that really matters. AP poll, I mean, I think they're just watching what's the big deal because I mean, they're obviously taking after our polling skills. But we're gonna get into our next college football topic, and we're gonna get into some coaches, specifically those that are fired. Um, Big old fired stamp over the face of James Franklin and Billy Napier. They were both fired over the past week. What do you call it? Immediately following that Northwestern game, we had Penn State go ahead and let go of James Franklin, and then I don't know why Florida just decided to wait a week after beating Mississippi State to take down Napier. But kind of what I want to talk to you about, Jack, is whether you agree with these firings, and after we talk about whether we agree or not, I want us both to pick a coach that we think will replace either of these individuals, and or predict if these guys will end up somewhere else and where. So, what are your
I
thoughts on
think
these two?
I think with Billy Napier, he the only reason he got saved from getting fired last year was because of how well DJ Lagway played some of last year and his flashes, and that's really more of a him thing than a Napier thing. At this point in time, he deserved to get fired. There's not really much you can say about it. He hasn't produced well. He hasn't led this team well. I'm not mad about it at all, especially an in-season firing. I think it's showing you mean business, that you are looking for a new head coach at a storied program. I think that was the right move. With James Franklin, I feel kind of differently in the fact that he took them to the semifinals last year. He lost in a nail biter to Oregon on one of the best runs I've ever seen from Jeremiah Love. I think he
They
might
were
not
a
have been
play
the
away
long
from a
term
national
answer.
title.
He,
Like,
like, he was a play away from a national title with them last year, or a national title
or
game.
yeah, appearance, not
I think I think it was a wrong move firing him this year. I can understand at the end of the year if things stayed rough, but what they lost to Oregon, which was a close game against a top, as of right now, top six team. They lose to UCLA in a game which they lose their quarterback for the year. I I just think they fired him too soon. I think you let the year play out. It doesn't do you any good because you're already out of everything contention. You're fighting for a 6-win bowl game right now.
mhm.
It does nothing to fire him midseason, especially with that payout. It just didn't make sense to me.
Yeah. I agree. I agree with you in the terms of Billy Napier. I think he was just too inconsistent. I mean, like he would. Billy Napier was really good at saving his job when he was on thin ice. Because I mean, the guy all week he's gonna be gone. They're gonna fire him. He goes and he beats the top 8 team in the country, and then it's like, well, shit. Well, we can't just fire the guy. But yeah, his road in Florida came to an end after 4 years with a 22-23 record. Um, it just wasn't working. And there needs to be change in Florida. I mean, they couldn't get it done with Mullen, couldn't get it done with Napier. Um, it's really not much more to say there. I think this Florida job becomes. I think it's a bigger job opportunity than Penn State.
I I disagree because Florida does have that history as of right now, but Penn State does have that history of recent success. They have been consistently good, not great, but they have been a consistent top 10 team for the past 4 to 5 years. Even beyond that, I think the Penn State job is one of the most enticing openings. It probably is. It's just I really don't even want to. I know you asked me about who I think would take
Okay,
these jobs. I really don't know.
wait here. Wait here. I don't want to cut you off. I just want to talk about James Franklin real quick because I really did agree with you.
Mhm.
Um, what do you call it? If you didn't see, James Franklin actually went on College Game Day this past weekend, and he just aired out all his frustrations. I mean, he put a story, or he said he walked everybody through how he got fired. What do you call it? It was during the week. Um, he had a what do you call it? A 3:45 meeting scheduled with the team. You know, game planning, film, all that kind of stuff to get ready for this opening week or for this next week. 80 came in at 3:30. Let him know in a 3-minute conversation he was fired. That was it. Went over to the team, told him everything, real emotional talk, and they booted him out. And I mean, I know we try not to cuss that much, Jackson, but Penn State is fucked. Like, like this guy, like I get it. He doesn't have a good record against these top the top 10 teams. I think it was what 4-21. But
It was something bad.
I mean, the guy was one play away from having you in the Natty last year, and they literally just threw him out like a sack of shit. And I think we're gonna get into it. Um, I think he's gonna be somewhere in the SEC. I saw a comment from Justin. I think he's gonna be somewhere in the SEC. I think he's either gonna end up at Florida. He's either gonna end up at Arkansas with the firing of Sam Pittman if they don't go forward with Bobby Petrino. And I could also see him at a school like Kentucky. Assuming I don't see Mark Stoops making it after this season. I mean, Kentucky's just an absolute shit show. But I see James Franklin in the SEC, and like I or here let me be more frank. I see either one of these guys at Kentucky next year. Probably more Billy Napier, ending up at Kentucky, but um, but yeah, I want to hear your opinion because I think James Franklin could easily end up at Florida or Arkansas. Possibly, I think really strong possibility with Arkansas.
I think he could. That's just kind of something I don't like to look at those kind of hirings because it could be somebody you can completely don't expect. For all we know, it could be a coordinator from the NFL. That's why I don't like to look at these openings like that to an extent. It's just that's what happened with Nebraska. Do you remember 2, 3 years ago? Around this time, Nebraska fired their coach. One of the most attractive. It's a blue blood program. Good recruiting for where it is, and you saw former head coach of the Panthers, Matt Rule, come and take that job. I just think for Penn State, I think they will look that direction. I That's really all I want to say about it because I mean, there's no really predicting.
Yeah. Penn State has actually already what do you call it? They have already come into contact with A&M head coach Mike Elko, where in a press conference he absolutely shut him down. So Penn State's looking. They're coming at everybody. Um, it's going to be a really sought after position. But yeah, I think we'll get more information towards the end of the season when it comes to these openings. But yeah, really something to keep an eye on. If conversation starts sparking up again, this is definitely a topic that I think we'll bring up again. But yeah, Billy Napier, fired from Florida. Both agreed on that. James Franklin, thrown out like a sack of shit in Pennsylvania. Um, really bad. But I think Franklin's a good coach. He's a good culture setter, tone setter. He's gonna be somewhere big. He's gonna be somewhere where he what do you call it? Or what am I trying to say? He's gonna be at a good program next year. And I think whoever what do you call it? Whoever hires him, they're getting a ball coach. And I think he'll be treated a lot better than he was in Pennsylvania.
And now that we're done with that coaches talk, I think we
All
are
right.
on to our college football sorry of the
All
week.
right, all right. Hold on. Wait. Okay, I have a two-part sorry of the week. They're both the same person, but I just need some time to pull it up on the screen. Give me 1 second. All right, Jack, are you ready? Oh, wait, hold on. All right, are you ready for the sorry of the week?
Mm-hmm.
We have Carson Beck. Everybody, give us a hand. In the image you see on the screen, I know Jackson can't see it. Carson Beck says, "How about I show you this package, and we'll see how fast your calendar opens up." Fuck this guy, dude. Holy hell.
He is like I said about regressing to the mean earlier. He is who every Georgia fan thought he was. I don't know if he'll play this bad the rest of the season. We will see. It is yet to be seen, but this dude just doesn't perform when the lights are bright. That has been shown time and time again. I mean, I don't have any hate for Miami as a program, but I think if you're them, you are a little bit worried. It's just really bad performance this week. Nothing really went his way.
I will say,
I mean,
Jack, I feel like you, I I feel like you have like this like one-sided beef with Carson Beck. Like I don't know what like I know Carson Beck's never done anything to you, but I
no, no,
literally feel
no,
like
no.
I feel like for the
Do you
past like
know?
two and a half years that you have just been dogging on Carson Beck.
Do you know why I hate him? I will explain it to you right now. First, last year, Texas's biggest game of the year, we played Georgia week 6 of the season, I think. He beats us. We play like ass. He beats us fair and square. Hate that dude anyway. Our basically our rival from last year. Last year, end of the first half, we're leading Georgia, I think, by a few points in the SEC championship game. First year in the SEC championship, we're doing great. Our defense is performing. Quinn Ewers is finally getting to a rhythm. Right before half, we take out his elbow. He was playing like shit. He was playing like shit. We're doing amazing. It looks like it's gonna be a good game. We're gonna be terrorizing the whole game. Colin Simmons is hitting on him, hurts his elbow. Gunnar Stockton comes in and beats us. I hate Carson Beck. He ruined. If we had a better seed last year, we would have been in the Natty. We wouldn't have had to play Ohio State. Like if we win the SEC last year, we're in the Natty against Ohio State. Maybe we lose still, but that I hate that guy.
Um, But yeah, Carson Beck, 25 of 35. Get really good completion percentage for 271, 0 touchdowns and 4 picks. Um, yeah, kind of similar to how we talked about with DJ Lagway. Um, if you if you're if you have a pretty well known name and you enter a college football Saturday in a big game and throw 4 picks, you're gonna end up on the what's the big deal sorry of the week. It's a really consistent way to get yourself on the podcast. Um, sorry, I'm reading chat. um, but yeah, Carson Beck. I think this picture of him is hilarious, Jack. I know you can't see it on the screen right now, but it's that
No, no,
picture
no.
of
I had the stream pulled up. I could see it. It I will never forget. I think my favorite genre of that picture was the one with Cade Klubnik when somebody asked him about something. He says, yeah, geocaching. Can we go geocaching?" I
I
think that was my favorite version of that.
I think the Drew Aller one is very slept on.
The Drew Allen one is slept on, but I think Carson Beck might be the worst one.
Yeah, just these like I don't know, man. This fucking guy. But that is going to round off our college football aspect of this part of the podcast. So I will now step into the secondary role as Jackson gets into our NFL. He's going to catch us up on the NFL. We're going to talk a bit about the boys because we are, unfortunately, Cowboys fans. But yeah, Jack, here, let me go ahead and get the sorry of the week stuff off the screen for you, and then you can lead us into this. What do you call it? You can lead us into the NFL part of the pod. So, floor is yours, my friend. Take the lead.
So today I did want to start with the Cowboys because we haven't had an episode in about 2 weeks. Cowboys are, of course, our favorite team. You can see the jerseys behind me. Fuck Micah Parsons. He's a bum. I just think Cowboys at this point in the season, Dak's the MVP in my opinion, especially after Monday night and how Baker played. I think Dak's the MVP. We have the best two receivers in football, at least as a duo. Our running back has found the fountain of youth. Our defense is just have you seen those TikToks that it's just me and a bunch of Planet Fitness dudes? That's our defense and our offense. That is it's terrible. Our defense is horrendous. I wish it would play better. The hope is that in about 2 weeks, right before the bye, we get I think it's right after the bye, we get DeMarvin Obershone back, we
Yeah.
get Siobhan Rebel, we get Josh Butler. So we basically get two of our projected best corners back. We get our best defensive player back. And that's if we don't make anything happen at the trade deadline, which I think we might with how good our offense is right now. I do have a lot of hope that we can maybe try to win the division or get a wild card spot. But the NFC does look really good this year, and it will be hard to do.
Yeah. As of Monday, Demarion Obershone's 21-day elevation window has been opened, so he can be elevated to the active 53 man up from Monday up until what is that? 21 days. It'll be like what, like first ish, second week of November ish. So they can be activated anytime from there. A lot of talk in the media about Dallas aiming for specifically Max Crosby and Jeffrey Simmons. Both teams have come out and said that they're not actively looking to shop either player, but we all know that
I
there's no player
I
out of
don't
reach.
believe
There's no player out of
I
reach
don't
unless you're
believe
Josh
any of
Allen or
that.
Patrick Mahomes.
That's exactly what we said. We said we're not going to trade Michael within the NFC. Why would we talk to the Packers? We said the same thing a month ago. I don't believe a damn thing any of these outlets say. I believe what the actions I see. Max Crosby followed 20 to 30 Cowboys players and former players of a few years ago on the team. I think there is some movement there. I think it can happen. I don't think it's probable, but of course, I would have my hope up for a top three defensive end in the league.
Yeah, he also has gone ahead and followed a Dallas training facility. That'll be something to really look for. But I'd love to see me some Max Crosby. I love me. I can't say that on the podcast, but I love me some Max Crosby type white people. Um,
The ones that Ghost and Hail cigar. That's my type of white guy.
exactly. But yeah, I mean, hey, I think this will be a really active trade deadline this year. A lot of teams are actively trying to make moves. I know the trade deadline hasn't been like too big over these last like 2 seasons, but I really think that we're going to see some big names get sent other places. Um,
I think we will get into a little bit of the trade deadline more at the end. Right now, I think we should start our game segment. So the first game we have up is Vikings Chargers tomorrow night. Um, I this game to me is a 50-50. Chargers are real banged up. Even they do have Hampton out on IR right now. I know that is a new development from the last time. Hampton was really stepping up. They do have Kamani Vidal in charge of the backfield. Hassan Haskins is actually out tomorrow as well. So it
yeah.
looks like the Chargers could be passing the ball a lot. You got to see if they're able to against that Vikings front. I think for that reason, I have the Vikings taking the game just because of how injured the Chargers are and how good that Vikings defense is. Vikings offense is basically hope and pray Carson Wentz could get the ball to their top two receivers. But I think the Vikings do take this one.
Yeah, and I mean Carson Wentz nearly got it done last week against the Eagles. I think if the Chargers were healthy with having Haskins and Hampton, I would take the Chargers in this game. But I'm gonna take the safe route. I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna take Carson Wentz and the Vikings to take him down.
And then now we get into our 12 o'clock slates. I do want to kind of go through these fast. I don't think any of these games are, not any, I will say, but I don't think most of these games are particularly interesting. Dolphins, Falcons.
Oh my
Dolphins
God.
are god awful. I don't even want to talk about them right now. We'll talk about them a little bit later. That's some foreshadowing. Falcons, they one of the
By
most confusing
50,
teams in the league.
by 90.
They should win by 50. Bijan might rush for 400 against this terrible Dolphins defense. Falcons win, my opinion, not close. Bears, Ravens. Lamar did have a full practice today. It will be seen how true that is as the week goes, but it seems like he is healthy post bye week. Ravens, Bears. I think Lamar first game back. I think Ravens take this. Bears are hit or miss. They still aren't as consistent as you would like them to be, especially with the new head coach Ben Johnson. I think Ravens take this one. What do you think?
I think there's two possibilities here, and it's all going to depend on Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. I think I think no matter what, you're going to get the same Chicago team that shows up. It'll just be based off of momentum. But I think it's either Lamar Jackson's back, absolutely just dog walk the Bears, which is a pretty high possibility, or we're going to see a little bit of that rust from Lamar Jackson, and then that's when I think this game doesn't become as easy as it is on paper, and that's when I think Caleb Williams can get the ball to Rome Odunze, he can get the ball to DJ Moore, he can hand the ball up to DeAndre Soto, who had a really big week last week, went for over a buck 20 and I believe two scores. Um, so I mean, I don't know. I think this game will dictate. The game will be decided on Lamar Jackson's health and whether he's rusty or not. I got a lot of faith in the two-time MVP. I think he'll come out slinging it, and so for that reason, I will take the Ravens.
Our next game we have up is Jets, Bengals. Jets are terrible. I think it really depends on who the Jets roll with and stick with during this game. If they stick with Tyrod Taylor, I do think this will be a closer game. First half of the season, I was a big Justin Field defender. I thought he was playing well, but it kind of he shot me in the ass the past 2 weeks. He's played terrible. He ruined Mason Taylor as a fantasy asset. Bengals have looked really good the past 2 weeks on offense. I think they continue rolling with Joe Flacco following that Uncle Bowl, which was an amazing game, one of the top games of the year. I think Bengals take this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you. I like to hope that Justin Fields in the right situation can succeed. Um, but yeah,
This just isn't that situation, if we're
yeah,
being honest.
I'm still a Justin Fields believer. I think benching him is still the right decision, though, based on the play and the situation. But yeah, Uncle Flacco, he's gonna sling it down against the Jets, and I think the Jets will go ahead and fall to 0-8.
Got it. And then next up, we have Bills Panthers. I think this game will be closer than we expect. Panthers They beat the Jets. That game just didn't matter. Both teams didn't play well. Panthers slightly pulled it out. We do have to see Bryce Young isn't expected to play this game. But if we're being honest, I don't think Bryce Young to Andy Dalton is that big of a drop off, especially if their run game continues to keep going. I think Bills do take this one. I think it is a lower scoring game, heavily dependent on James Cook versus Chuba and Rico. I think I think Bills take this, but I think Panthers do make it an interesting game.
Okay, I know you can't see my face right now, but I wish you could have seen it whenever you said the drop off to from Bryce Young to Andy Dalton is not very big. I completely disagree. I think Bryce Young is one of those guys, those young guys that gets better every single week.
I
I mean,
I don't know how you say that. Before he left the game last week, he got injured in the end of the third, beginning of the fourth. He played like ass. He
people
played
have,
like
people people
ass.
have off days, dude.
No, but you got to realize with Bryce Young, it's 2 off days, one solid day, and one good day. He hasn't played consistently good for more than a 2 game stretch in his whole career. I just think he's running out of excuses. It's at some point you just gotta realize he might be solid, but I don't know how to say it better. He might be solid, but he's not that guy.
I don't know. I'm really high on Bryce Young. I've always been pretty high on Bryce Young. I believe in Bryce Young, but yeah, I do agree with you on the part that if Bryce Young plays this game, that it'll be one of those gritty, ugly games where Buffalo will pull away in that second half of the fourth quarter. But for that, I'm going to take Buffalo. But I do expect this to be what do you call it, a closer game. Do you happen to have the spread on you or no?
No, I do not.
Let me see. Where's it being played?
It's played. I think it's at Panther Stadium.
At Panthers, that spread's probably about 6.5 for Buffalo. I want to look at it. What do you call it when we get off of here? But that'll be a good bet to watch because I do agree with you. I do think this game could get ugly and gritty. But I am going to take Buffalo, obviously.
Next game up we have is Niners Texans. We both watched that Monday night football game together. Defense looks elite. Offense looks god awful. I mean, it's not going to get any better. The From what I'm seeing as a Nico Collins owner in fantasy, it's looking like he's not going to play on a short week.
CJ Stroud,
The
too.
early slate game with a concussion scare. Well, he does have a concussion. He's in the protocol. It's looking like he's not going to play this week. The offenses look terrible with him, anyways. I just don't see a way the Niners lose this one unless I don't even know what to say. Texans look terrible on offense.
Yeah, I mean the offensive line wasn't doing CJ Stroud any favors, and then CJ Stroud exits the game with about 6 minutes left, banged his back of his head on the turf. Him and Nico Collins. So I think CJ Stroud's availability this week will be something really good or really big to look
CJ
at.
Stroud, CJ Stroud isn't injured.
He literally exited the game.
No,
Did
no,
he
he
not
didn't.
end up
He played
having
the
a
whole game.
concussion?
No, that's Nico.
Well, whatever. Whether CJ Stroud has a head, he's missing a leg, it does not matter. The offensive line's not going to block. No Nico Collins. Texans are going to get absolutely slaughtered.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be particularly close. Not much to say about it.
Yeah, I
Niners are a good team,
Niners
good
cover.
defense. Yeah. Next up, we have Browns Patriots. I think Patriots do run away with this one. And it's just kind of the fact that Patriots defense is stingy. You saw that all the way back to that Buffalo game that they won a few weeks ago. Browns don't have a quarterback. I don't think any of their quarterbacks are the answer. I don't think Shadur is going to be very good. Dylan Gabriel's playing mediocre. Quinshon Judkins did have a legacy game on my fantasy team last week, but Patriots do have a really stingy run defense, and I just don't see a way the Browns offense can outscore MVP candidate Drake May right now.
Shadur. I think we get Shadur this week. I think this defense is going to make it hell for Dylan Gabriel. He's yet to turn the ball over in his 4 starts, but I just I don't know. I feel like this is a really good Patriots defense. I think they're going to make it hard on the rookie, and I just want to see me some Shador Sanders, dude. Like, I think he's better than Dylan Gabriel. Um, and I'm really looking forward to seeing it. That Loki sounded like I was preying on Dylan Gabriel's downfall. That's not the case. I just want to see Shador Sanders play, and I think there's a good possibility we could see it this week when he faces a good defense like New England. But yeah, I'm gonna take New England in this one too. Drake May's playing amazing football.
And then next up, we do have the Giants Eagles playing in the second time in 3 weeks. I think the Eagles do take this one just for the fact that I don't see the Giants sweeping them. They come off an emotional loss to the Broncos where they let up 30 points in the fourth quarter. I think this is one of those games where you kind of want them to come back and play well, but I just don't think that's what's going to happen. I think the Eagles found some of their rhythm against the Vikings last week, and I think they continue that and beat the Giants.
Oh yeah, if you're the reigning Super Bowl champs and you can't make adjustments within 2 weeks to a division rival, a team that you are, I think, in nearly all metrics more talented than, um,
Mm-hmm.
then I mean there needs to be conversations about who's about this coaching staff. But yeah, same thing with you. I don't expect them to sweep Philly. You would like to think that Philly can make some adjustments in this 2 week period. I expect them to. I don't think it'll be a crazy blowout, but I do. I will probably take Philly by anywhere from 5 to 10 points. But yeah, taking Philly on. Same thing with you.
But the next game we do have up is going to be Buccaneers Saints. This is the first 3 o'clock slate game. I think it could go either way. If we're being honest, Buccaneers are kind of. I mean, Mike Evans is just about done for the season. Igbuka still has that lingering injury. He did play through it last week, but that isn't a guarantee. Chris Godwin may be coming back, but he hasn't looked good when healthy this season. Or that's also because he hasn't really been fully healthy. Spencer Rattler has been quietly playing some very solid football. I could see them taking this game. I could see the Saints taking it. I don't think I would bet on that. I will take the Buccaneers as of right now, but this is always a close matchup no matter how bad either team is. And I really do. I'm going to put my money on the Buccaneers, but I could also see a possibility where the Saints do win.
I want to go out on the record. I want to say rip my king, rip Mike Evans, and the what was going to be the 12th season in a row of him having over 1,000 yards. This my goat, first ballot Hall of Famer. What do you call it? I'm probably gonna talk to him after this podcast, see what he's up to, and see what he's doing. Make sure he's good. Um, but I mean, yeah, I mean, sickening, dude. But yeah, I mean, Spencer. Yeah, I agree with you on the big Spencer Rattler aspect. I think he's been actually playing very solid football, which is pretty surprising. He always had that potential. What do you call it? In high school and college, and it just never really amounted to much. But I mean, yeah, Spencer Rattler's playing pretty good football. I am going to take what do you call it? Assuming the Buccaneers O line shows up to work this week, uh, I'm gonna take uh, I'm gonna take the Bucks in this one. This will be where we split for the first time on these predictions.
I mean, I took the Bucks, by the way, but
Oh, you did? Oh shit! I thought my bad. I was
no,
grabbing the
I
jersey
took
from
the
the
Bucks.
thing.
I said I would not be surprised if the
Oh,
Saints do win this one. And the next game we do have up is Colts versus the Titans. Colts all the way. Told Titans don't win a fluky game. I don't see them winning anytime soon.
yeah,
Colts have looked amazing. Jonathan Taylor has carried my fantasy team. I hope he continues to do it. I take the Colts.
yeah. Indiana Jones and the MVP propaganda continue. Not close either.
And the next game we have is Cowboys Broncos. 50-50. I mean, the battle is basically going to be the Cowboys offense versus the Broncos defense because the Broncos offense has been inconsistent and not amazing. The Cowboys defense has been horrific, but the Broncos defense has been stellar, top two in the league. Cowboys offense is the best offense in the league. It's that matchup right there that's going to win or decide this game. A little bit of homerism. I am going to take the Cowboys in this one, but I do think it will be a close, competitive game. I also do think we have a shred of a Javante Williams revenge game right here. I think he'll have a great day. I I just think we're going to put it on them.
Yeah. Um, this Cowboy defense, I think you would agree to, even with no biasm, or biasism. I'm not sure the word on that, but
No bias.
no bias. All right, fuck off. Anyways, um, this Cowboy defense can score on anybody at will. I mean, you through what do you call it? Through how many weeks has it been? Are we on week 8? Is it week 7? Week 8.
We're week 8 right now.
Week 8. Dallas has two top 5 receivers in the league, and I mean, being frank with you, as good as a defense can be, Pat Surtain is likely going to travel CD Lamb. I think we see a George Pickens slugfest.
I mean, if we're being honest, I think it's the opposite. I think Pat Surtain is a prototypical outside corner playing the X receiver. That's what George Pickens is playing right now. He was lined up on the outside almost the whole game last week against the Commanders. If you really look at it, CD's kind of back in that slot role right
Yeah.
now. He's able to play the slot because we have Jalen Tolbert and Flournoy kind of rotating that outside spot. And then whenever Cavante Turpin is on the field, CD does move back to that
Yeah.
outside spot. But I think what we have seen in the past is CD is his best when he can rotate around the field, and I don't think you would travel Pat Surtain on that when
What
it
what
just puts your because you really don't want the matchup of Riley Moss on George Pickens. I feel like that's worse because there's a world where Riley Moss is twitchy enough and elusive enough to keep up with CD on some of those those option routes or those slants. You could see that. There's no situation where I would trust Riley Moss to be on George Pickens on a deep ball.
Yeah, I think one of these guys is going to go nuclear. I can't tell you which one. I mean, that's the benefit that you get when you have through 8 weeks two top 5 receivers. Um, can't cover both of them. I mean, you can limit one, but the other one's just going to hurt you in every way you can. And I do agree with you on the Javante Williams aspect. Um, I really don't know who to pick in this game because I've seen nothing from this Cowboy defense that makes me think they can get a stop. I mean, I think if they can get 2 stops or force one turnover, they can win the game.
And
Genuinely.
that's what we saw last week against Washington, against a healthy Jaden Daniels for 3 quarters of the game. We started playing some more man coverage. You could say all you want about Eberflus. He came out with the good game plan last week. We stopped the run. We're beating up on Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, or sorry, Bill. Uh, we're playing great man coverage. I mean, there is a caveat to that with how many Washington receivers were out, but we played great last week on defense. You just kind of got to hope we can start stringing that together, especially with some of the starters we're getting back.
Yeah.
And moving on,
I do. Oh wait, wait.
sorry.
I do think it's a toss up. If I had to pick, I'm gonna take the Cowboys, but I just got to see some out of this defense on a more consistent basis.
And then coming up next, we have Aaron Rodgers return to Green Bay. Steelers versus Packers, Sunday night football. I have the Packers taking this. It will be a competitive game, I think. I think Aaron Rodgers will play with the fire under him, but I just don't see the Steelers' weapons being enough to snuff out that Packers defense. The Packers have a very solid defense. Really, the only time you've seen them stumble this year was against the Cowboys. I really think I really think the Packers take this one. Jordan Love's going to play well. The If you see anything on how Jalen Ramsey played Jamar Chase last week, Matthew Golden might have the legacy game if they give him a deep ball or two. I think the Packers take this one, and it will be close, but I think it's around a 7 point game in the Packers' favor.
Yeah. If this game was in Green Bay, I would have agreed with you, and I would have taken Green Bay. But this is being played in Heinz Field, and
Sorry, it's a Creasier Stadium.
whatever. I don't give a fuck. Doesn't change the
They
fact
lost all the
that
aura. They lost all the aura when they changed the name.
yeah, but I mean that doesn't really field name change. Still the same location. Um, I think Aaron Rodgers is going to get his revenge, and now officially this is where we split for the first time. Um, I think Aaron Rodgers is playing very good football, and I think he's gonna. I think the teacher's gonna get the best of the student in this quarterback matchup, and I'm gonna take the Steelers.
I don't know about that teacher comment. He didn't teach Jordan Love shit. He was a terrible mentor to him, if we're being honest. And he stated that. That's just kind of what I want to end that off with. In the last game of the week, we do have Commanders versus Chiefs. Jaden Daniels isn't expected to play this week. Chiefs take it. They're
Yeah,
healthy on offense finally.
yeah, they're gonna take
There's
it,
not much
right?
else to say. If Jaden Daniels played this week, I think it would have been a much closer game. You could have seen me swing Washington's way. But no Jaden Daniels. I would be very surprised if it wasn't the Chiefs that win.
Y'all missing the Wemby masterclass right now. Fuck yeah, we're going overtime. Hey, we only got one more segment though. So with that, I am gonna agree with you. I'm gonna take the Chiefs. They're playing really good football compared to the first couple weeks. Yeah, especially with no Jane Daniels.
And real quick, let's just go through the teams on a bye this week because that is the end of our matchups. We have the Jaguars, the Raiders, the Lions, the Cardinals, the Seahawks, and the Rams. I kind of want to group them together. Raiders, Cardinals, useless. No future, at least as of this year. Kyler's injured for the moment. Cardinal season's pretty much on hold till he gets back. Raiders, dumpster fire. That's it. Jaguars, kind of middle of the pack, top of the pack. I don't really know how to describe it. They're playing well some weeks, not well the others. One thing you just really want to see is to see the season continue is if Brian Thomas and Trevor Lawrence get their connection back. Even then, most of his connection was with Mac Jones last year, but that's really the improvement you want to see. Next up, we have the Lions.
Go Jags, go!
They've looked like they've looked like a great team all year. Nothing more to say. Defense is stepping up as they need. Seahawks and Rams, to me, are in the same boat. Very stingy defenses with consistent, pretty above average offenses. To me, they're the same team. They both have. I think LA does have the advantage at quarterback, but it's the same team in a different font. So
Yeah,
I don't know what else to say. All those
no.
teams are kind of
And NFC West is
meh,
probably going to get
except
three teams in the playoffs.
sorry.
I was saying that I don't think it'd be crazy to see three teams from the West get into the playoffs.
I think that's kind of what I was talking about last week. It's rough to say I can see the Cowboys making the playoffs when 2 out of 3 playoff spots are most likely going to go to that NFC West, and there's probably one go to the NFC North with the Lions and the Packers. So Cowboys are really going to have to step it up, and our best hope is to win the division because if it's up to a wild card spot, we probably won't get in.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. And it is the people's favorite part of each episode, whether it's college, whether it's NFL. Jack, you want to go ahead and, or I'll give you a drum roll while you announce the story of the week, so that we can do some shitting on these people, and then we can go watch our King Victor Wembanyama. Ready? Do better. Let me do better.
So this week, our sorry of the week for the NFL is the Miami Dolphins as a team, a coach, an organization. They have to be the most embarrassing display of football I've seen in a minute, in a while. They are playing terrible on offense. Their defense let a rookie running back run for 3 touchdowns on them, 2 through 3 picks. Mike McDaniels is a fraud. He looks like he's back on alcohol. There's nothing else you could say. That team they're done. They look to be a seller at the trade deadline. You could possibly see Jalen Waddle going somewhere. He has been linked to the Giants, we've seen. Miami Dolphins are just in shambles, if we're being honest.
Yeah, Cutwaters Friday. Yeah, Ethan, we're all drinking Cutwaters on Friday. What do you call it? Yeah, Tua turned the ball over. Um, Absolute shit show, like you said. Mike McDaniel's. Um, I don't. I mean, the guy doesn't even have like answers in his press conference anymore. He just looks down and just mumbles and shakes his head. So I mean, poor guy. I mean, he was running one of the most electric offenses. We call it a couple years ago. Now he's on the hot seat, and I mean, it's kind of
That's
hard when your quarterback sucks ass. But still, he's not doing him any
that's
favors.
really the difference when you come from that Shanahan coaching tree. is that you see him and Shanahan run a lot of similar things, and I never want to hear anyone say he's uh he's similar to Kyle Shanahan again because Shanahan has proven time and time again his offense can be efficient and look solid no matter who's at quarterback, who's at running back, who's at receiver. Mike McDaniels loses a player and he's done for the season. I mean, I just don't think he's your answer. He's gonna be fired this year.
Yeah.
It's just you gotta hope they could find somebody to take over. They never should have gotten rid of Brian Flores. I truly believe that. They're just in shambles.
Yeah, my bad. My bad, E. I didn't mean to expose your government name. But yeah. Tua, Mike McDaniels, and the Dolphins are going to be our sorry of the week. And I believe that's going to conclude the episode. Um, what do
We
you call
appreciate
it?
y'all for tuning in. We're happy to be back.
Yeah.
Uh, we are going to try to make it every week from now on, barring any insane circumstances.
Typically on a Tuesday or Wednesday so that we can push out content over the second half of the week into the weekend. But we did
Ooh, and
have.
before we get finished, somebody in the comment section just said, "So John Harbaugh getting fired?" I do not think so because me personally, I think the Ravens make a push for.
Already said cap.
I I mean, it's agree to disagree. John Harbaugh has proved he when Lamar is healthy and he has his guy, he's a consistent playoff divisional round player. Of course, you want to see them make it further, want to see them make the Super Bowl. But I think Harbaugh at least has another year left, especially with Lamar being injured this year. He kind of gets a pass. I mean, yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, JC, I knew it was you, but my boy E, he just started crashing out because I said his real name. So, but yeah, that's gonna conclude the pod. Look, um, for the coming weeks, Tuesdays and Wednesdays. It'll just depend on our work schedules. But hey, we're back. Feels good to be back. What do you call it? I know we did see all the protesting that was going on. You guys saw the picture before the stream started. We did go ahead and we saw the prayers. We saw the podcast world going down. So we had to come back. We're good to be back. But yeah, I mean, we went for what about a little over an hour and a half. Pretty lengthy episode. We had a lot of catching up to do. But yeah, I mean, hey, we appreciate the support. Um, hey, we're gonna keep at it, consistent basis. So we'll see you guys on either next Tuesday or next Wednesday. Appreciate everybody
We
watching.
appreciate
Appreciate the
we
consistent
appreciate
goers in the chat.
we appreciate every one of y'all for watching. We have a fun time doing this. We're doing this for the love of the game. We watch so much football. We just figured why not do this for fun. It's been a great time doing it so far. We appreciate
Yeah.
y'all.
And yeah, actually, last one more shout out. We did hit 100 followers on TikTok over the hiatus. Hopefully, first of many accomplishments that we're able to have. Um, but yeah, I mean, love you guys. Appreciate the support. Appreciate the consistent goers in the chat. What do you call it? We do read them. Just try to stay focused because I tend myself to get very sidetracked. But yeah, thank you everybody. And Jack, if you don't have anything else to say, then let's go watch some Wembenyama.
Go Cowboys.
All right.